Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel D Creations Resources. We are looking at multiple choice questions from physics, maths, general aptitude, etc. Today let us look at a question from the June 2023 question paper of CSIR NET exam. And the question is, when the student in section A who scored 100 marks in a subject is exchanged for a student in section B who scored 0 marks, the average marks of the section A falls by 4, while that of a section B increases by 5. Which of the following statements is true? First statement is A has the same strength as B. Second, A has 5 more students than B. Third, B has 5 more students than A. And fourth, the relative strengths of the classes cannot be assessed from the data. So, if you know how to solve it, just pause the video, solve it and cross-check the answer, which will be given shortly. If you don't know how to solve it, proceed as it is. So, even though there's a lot of information, if you look at it step by step, it's a very logical process. So, let's try to extract the information one by one. So, we now know that has been an exchange of students. Which two students? A student who scored 100 marks and a student who scored 0 marks. And the one who scored 100 marks was in section A and now he has gone to section B. So, the total marks for section A is going to change, is in fact going to reduce by 100, while that for section B is going to increase by 100. Let us see how. So let us assume that the number of students in section A are P and let their average score be A. So what will be the score of this section? P into A, right? So let me give you an example. Suppose there were 10 students in section A and that means P was 10 and the average score was say 80. Then what would be this total score of section A? 80 into 10, which is 800, right? So here we are using variables because they have not provided us those numbers. Now similarly, it works out for section B also. We'll call the number of students in section B as Q and average score as small b. So that score of section B is QB. Now we come to that exchange condition. What have we been told? We've been told that a student from section A who had scored 100 has gone to section B and the student from section B who had scored 0 has come to section A. So, what will be the new score? This was the initial score. We need to subtract 100 from it because that student has gone and 0 is added to it. It's not going to make a difference, but we need to put it down here. So now if you try to take out the average, please note here, since the students have been exchanged, the total number of students will remain to be P, right? Because one has gone and one has come. So minus 1 plus 1. So that doesn't change. So how do we determine average score? Total score divided by number of students. The total score has now become PA minus 100. This anyway makes no difference, so we will not write it here. And that divided by number of students in section A, which is P. So, new average score is PA minus 100 divided by P. But we have been told in the question, let's go back to it. See, what does it say? The average marks of the section A falls by 4. Average score is decreasing by 4. So, here the average score, which was earlier A, we have taken it as A, is now decreased by 4. So, even if we have calculated it using this formula, PA minus 100 divided by P, we need to equate it to A minus 4. And now you can just solve the equation. See, if you take this P on the right hand side, this will become PA minus 4P. And PA and PA are going to be cancelled from both left hand side as well as right hand side. So what are you left with? You are left with minus 100 is equal to minus 4p. That means p is equal to 25. I repeat, see, simply you are taking this p from the denominator to the other side and you are multiplying it by this bracket. So that this term instead of a minus 4 will become pa minus 4p. And on this side we already have pa minus 100. So pa term from both the sides will cancel out, and that's how it's minus 100 is equal to 4p and p is equal to 25. Now similarly we'll make a calculation for section B. Now in section B, the student who had scored 0 has gone and the one who had scored 100 has come. So QB minus 0 plus 100. So for section B it's again. And new average score, as I said, we'll eliminate this number because anyway subtraction by 0 makes no difference. QB plus 100 divided by Q, where Q we have already assumed it to be number of students here. Again, there is a student exchange, so no change in the number of students. So now this QB plus 100 upon Q is the new average score, but again we go back to the question. See, what have they said? The new average score increases by 5. So earlier it was B, now it is increasing by 5. That means we can equate B plus 5 to this formula. And now when you equate it, again solve it in the same way. Take this Q on this side. So this will be QB plus 5Q is equal to QB plus 100. QB cancelled out. And 5Q is equal to 100. That means Q is equal to 20. So P is 25, Q is equal to 20, or in other words, P, as you can see, it is 5 greater than Q, right? Because 20 plus 5 is 25. So P is equal to Q plus 5, and so the answer has to be A has 5 more students than B. Because what was P? P was number of students in A and Q was number of students in B. So if you do we have this option, A has 5 more students than B? Let's go back. Yes, second option. A has 5 more students than B. So that is going to be the answer here. Thank you.